You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Bold and the Beautiful fans, we have got Deke on the scene just as Matt Atkinson made what's basically a cameo as Thomas, and he seems to be gone again already. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to get into whether Deke might replace Thomas at Forrester Creations. And hey, please hit subscribe if you're not already following us. So right now we've got newcomer Harrison Cohn on B&B, and he's made his debut as Eric Sharpe, who is Deacon's son, and now they've retconned his name to be Deak Sharp. He was named Eric Forrester III at birth because of a big old paternity lie. He was introduced as Rick Forrester's son, who is Eric Forrester Jr., and he was supposed to be Rick and Amber Moore's son, but Deke was really the child of Deacon and Amber's cousin, Becky Moore. The whole thing was really messy because Amber and Rick's baby died, and Rick didn't know it, and they passed Deke off as that kid. There was a whole bunch of lies and trickery, and Amber was kind of a victim too. But it later came out that Deacon was the little boy's father. So Deke used to go by, I think, Little Eric and then also Little D, a nickname that came up after his true paternity came out. But now it looks like Bold and the Beautiful writers went ahead and just changed his name for ease of writing, you know, because he's basically Deacon Sharpe Jr. at this point, I guess is how they're naming him. And in fact, the last time Deacon's son was seen, he was over on Young and the Restless. He was a lot younger, and he was looking for money to go off to boarding school. So now Deke is in LA. He's dating Remy Price, and Deke has just gotten out of fashion school, and he is an aspiring fashion designer. So he told Deacon that he's really got his heart set on designing at Forrester Creations, where his sister Hope has worked for years. And now her fashion line, Hope for the Future, is officially back. It's all very convenient and coincidental. Carter suggested to Ridge they bring the line back because their customer base of a certain age is not being fulfilled by their other successful lines. And of course, Hope for the Future wasn't doing great after Thomas left town when Hope rejected his second marriage proposal. Her line had very poor sales numbers despite trying different designers. And then Steffi took advantage of that to cut Hope's line to punish her for making a move on Finn. But now Carter has convinced Ridge that it's the best time to resurrect Hope for the Future and bring it back. But of course, Carter also has ulterior motives for bringing Hope for the Future back. He said he wants his future wife, Hope, to have everything she wants. But Carter was actually shocked when Ridge agreed because he's been asking for a while. Ridge even said Hope is too talented to be sidelined for so long. So with Steffi gone, Ridge and Carter made the decision to revive the line. And honestly, even when Steffi's back, she's done feuding with Hope, and she's going to be too worried about Luna's resurrection to worry about the resurrection of Hope's line. So pretty much everybody's on the same page now. And Carter, of course, couldn't wait to tell Hope. And then right after he did, like, oh, look what I did for you, then Carter started pushing Hope to marry him. Right at that moment, right then, that day, Carter thought he could pull off what Ridge did and just marry Brooke on the spot in the office, but he did not get the same reaction that Ridge did. So on that recent episode, Carter asked Hope to get hitched now, and she looked absolutely torn. I feel like Carter might have talked Ridge into reinstating Hope for the Future because it's his way of competing with Liam because he shares a child with Hope. Basically, Beth is Hope's baby, but Hope for the Future is also her work baby. So Carter, to me, seems to be desperate. He's kind of grasping at straws and doing whatever he can to keep Hope and compete with Liam. I think Carter can sense that she's slipping away. And I suspect Hope calls things off with Carter, and she's likely not going to marry him on the spot, even if she doesn't go ahead and break up with him this week. But either way, Hope's getting her line back because Carter can't just say, oh, you're not going to marry me? Well, no hope for the future for you. You know, if he did that, Carter would look super sketchy. So at the end of the day, hope for the future is coming back. And this is happening right as Deke is trying to get a job as a designer at Forrester Creations. And if you remember, Zende and Eric designed for the line, and it didn't do that well. And it also didn't do that well when RJ was designing for the line. But when Thomas was working with Hope on it, Hope for the Future was doing gangbusters. And we just saw Thomas back in LA. So, you know, maybe you thought, cool, you know, he's going to be back with her, back with the line, because Thomas mentioned he was feeling lost because he's not working on a line right now. And the assumption, I think, was, oh, okay, you know, maybe he'll come back and at least reunite with Hope for work reasons and work on Hope for the Future. But I just doubt it. First, because when Matt Atkinson returned, his name never appeared in with the contract actors. And he only briefly appeared as Thomas listed in the recurring section of the credits. And then Matt Atkinson has disappeared completely from the credits now. Like, he's not there anymore. So Bold also seemed to put a nail in the Thope coffin this week on a recent episode. Hope was telling her mom, Brooke, that one of the reasons she could never commit to Thomas was because of his role in the Baby Beth faked death drama. So for anybody hoping to see Thomas back to be with Hope, which I kind of was, you know, hearing that conversation with Hope and Brooke was kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's the end of that. It really looks like they brought back Matt Atkinson for just those few episodes, and I think he might be gone for good, or at least for a good long while. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think what happened was they needed one of Taylor's kids on hand in LA to react to Brooke and Ridge's remarriage, but Jacqueline Wood was out on maternity leave right then, so it couldn't be Steffi. I mean, it was kind of lame to me. Thomas was about to explode. He was so mad on behalf of his mom, and then he and Brooke just hugged it out. No drama, it's done. And that means Thomas is likely not going to be the designer for Hope for the Future and its revival. But Eric and Zende weren't killing it. And Ridge has basically, RJ, Ridge Jr., has basically evaporated like he never even existed. So that means Hope has her line back, but she needs a designer. And now her brother is in town. Already, Deke asked Deacon to put in a good word with Brooke, and he agreed. And Deacon encouraged Deke to reach out to his sister Hope. And I expect she would love to have her brother Deke working with her on her line. Could be a match made in heaven. Of course, Ridge might fuss a little about having Deacon's son at Forrester Creations, but I'm sure that Hope and Brooke could talk Ridge into it. You know, Deke's not his father, and you can't choose your parents. Plus, Zende's busy working on other lines within the company, and I'm sure Hope would really like to have her brother designing for her. So everything seems to be lining up, and I think Deke is going to replace Thomas at Hope for the Future, and we may not be seeing Taylor's son for the foreseeable future, which is kind of disappointing, but this is how Bold and the Beautiful likes to do us.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.